What is up, my dudes? We're back again with another video, but today we are going to be doing the National League and the MLB preview. So today we'll be completing the MLB preview because Thursday is opening day, so we got to get it in. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to go to the National League, and we are going to start with the NL East, and we're already starting out off on a sad note. Harper's last season with the Nationals is this year, folks.
And who do you think you are?
And what does that mean for this team? Win now. With Anthony Rendon coming off an MVP caliber season, Trey Turner is being a beast, Adam Eaton is finally healthy, and Ryan Zimmerman is coming off a turnaround year. These guys need to carry the squad past the division series finally for the first year, and hopefully turn it into a World Series run. That's basically all for the Nationals. They just need to, they have a postseason team every year. They just need to learn how to get past the division series, which has been their stumbling block lately. The Mets, a dream rotation is in the making. One problem, their health. After getting Jason Vargas to a 2-year deal from the Royals, he fractures his non-pitching hand. Good news, it's not a long-term injury. It should heal pretty quickly, and the rotation should look like this if he's healthy fast enough. Jacob deGrom, who doesn't get enough credit because he's an amazing pitcher, Noah Syndergaard, Matt Harvey, if he stays healthy, and Steven Matz, also who has a problem staying healthy. So if these guys can stay healthy, maybe they'll do better than they did last year. And if they can't stay healthy, expect them to give the Nationals, give them a hard time this year in the postseason race. And moving on to the Phillies, after signing Jake Arrieta and Carlos Santana, the Phillies are looking decent. I say decent because they're not going to be a World Series team all of a sudden because they signed Jake Arrieta, an aging veteran who doesn't have the same stuff he did 3 years ago. They have a future star, well, he already is a star, Rhys Hoskins, and Scott Kingery. Remember this guy's name because he already has signed a 6-year extension, $24 million, and he hasn't even played a game in the big leagues yet. So just expect big things from him. They believe in him already. And with Odubel Herrera and company, expect these guys to turn the tide sooner than later for a postseason run. The Braves, Ronald Acuna was sent down. Why? Because they wanted to get an extra year on his contract. If you send a player down for like 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember exactly what, but when you bring him up after those 2 or 3 weeks, you get the guy for an extra year. That's what the Cubs did with Chris Bryant, if you remember that situation. But as soon as he's eligible, he'll come up, so don't be panicking that you won't be able to see him play this year, because you will. And then Ozzie Albies is up and coming. Expect a good year from him. And then Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis, and Ender Inciarte will continue to slug for this team. Don't expect too much from them, I should say. The Marlins are the last team to talk about. Both Florida teams are rebuilding, so it happens. The Marlins practically traded everyone away. Christian Yelich went to the Brewers, Ozuna to the Cardinals, D. Gordon to the Mariners, and Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees. What do I think will come of it? I think that they'll get a lot. I mean, they already did get a lot of prospects from the rebuilding, namely Lewis Brinson. So expect big things from him, and they will definitely take a few years to start competing again. And then the final standings for the East, Nationals, Mets, Phillies, Braves, and Marlins last. So let's see, for the NL Central, the Cubs, losing Arrieta didn't prove to be that bad as they got Yu Darvish to fill the void. How will the swap play out? Who knows, but expect these guys with their up-and-coming star in Ian Happ. If you haven't been following him this spring, he's been doing amazing. He's got 7 home runs. He continues to dominate spring training. The Cubs will definitely come away with another division title. The Brewers, this squad had some bad luck last season as they were only 1 game away from the postseason, and lucky for them, they made up for it by buffing their team with the additions of Lorenzo Cain, and Christian Yelich. Expect these guys to carry the squad to a wildcard spot. The Cardinals, Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna was a key pickup for this team, and besides him, Luke Gregerson was really the only other pickup, and he's not even that good. He's in his 30s, and he's competing for the closer job, so who knows how he'll fare in that job after a over 4 ERA last year. Who knows, but expect shortstop Paul DeJong, Tommy Pham, and center to once again prove themselves. And Tommy Pham, expect him to have MVP caliber season. He definitely has proved himself to look like that, as we saw last year, so expect big things from him this year. And then moving on to the Reds, after spending a while at the top of the NL Central, they fell and then showed their true colors again. This team once held the Big Red Machine, has the Big Red Machine again, in Joey Votto. He's all they need. He's going into his mid-30s, and he put up an MVP caliber season last year. So if he's able to do that again, maybe they can put up a fight for a wild card spot, but everything's got to work out. The stars got to align here. And if Giancarlo Stanton wasn't in the National League, he would have been the MVP, no doubt about it. Expect Scooter Gennett to continue to progress, as well as Eugenio Suarez and company. Moving on to the Pirates, after trading away Garrett Cole and Andrew McCutchen, these guys are stuck in a tough spot again. Indecisive in whether to shop the whole team or to compete is tough for any team, especially for the Pirates, though. Expect a turnaround for Chad Kuhl. If you don't know who he is, you should definitely know who he is, because he's going to prove himself to be the ace of this team. So, now that Garrett Cole's gone, of course. And the final standings I have for the Central are the Cubs first, Brewers second, Cardinals third, Reds fourth, Pirates fifth. And then the NL West is our last division on the MVP preview. MVP
Of hearts, tearing love apart.
MLB preview. Alright, the first on the list is the Dodgers. This team has got to stop winning. And more importantly, making Kershaw feel he is unnecessary is just absolute crazy. They just keep winning without him. And last year, we saw this and if they can carry the fire up to this year, they can go back to the World Series and win it this time. Things were unfortunate for them in the World Series last year, but lucky for them, they have the same team, minus Justin Turner, though, after hurting his hand, but they have Matt Kemp now. Matt Kemp isn't his MVP form like he used to be, but he certainly can drive in some runs for them and help this team out. Second on the list, Giants. The injuries have plagued this team to no end, and it got even worse as they lost the guy who got injured in a four-wheel accident last year. You all know, Matty Bum. He's injured again, but someone will have to step up for him. Will it be Johnny Cueto? He had a down year last year, but maybe he could step up with the two pitchers missing. Who's the second pitcher, you might be wondering? Jeff Samardzija. He got hurt as well. So this team kind of shaky as if it's going to be a postseason run for them or just another down year for them. But expect Evan Longoria and Andrew McCutchen to do well, but don't expect them to carry to a division title. Two players don't make a team. On the Phillies, Eric Hosmer will not be enough for this team to jump from fourth to first. I'm sorry, but it's not really that possible, not very reasonable. But what he can do is mentor these young guys to get them to the next level. Don't expect anything crazy, but do expect Corey Spangenberg, Manuel Margot to do some great things, put up some good numbers. All right, moving on. Diamondbacks, Archie Bradley's triple in the wildcard game. It was one of the best moments for the Diamondbacks last year. But can Archie close out games along with raking at the dish? We'll have to see, as this team has some good players that go unnoticed, namely Jake Lamb, Paul Goldschmidt, and after acquiring Steven Souza Jr., this team has even more power bats than it did last year. Expect them to earn a wildcard spot and make the Dodgers sweat at the top. And last on our list is the Rockies. This team was fierce last year. You have to admit that. They worked hard. They put themselves into a wildcard spot. Unfortunately, things didn't work out for them as it could have. But lucky for them, they have a young starting rotation that's going to be around for quite some time. Who does that include? Chad Bettis, John Gray, Tyler Anderson, and more to a postseason spot once again. Expect Nolan Arenado, DJ LeMahieu, and Chuck Nasty, as Shelfie calls him, to step up for this year. The final standings I've got for this division are the Dodgers first, D-backs second, Rockies third, Giants fourth, and Padres fifth. Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.
I gotta ask, do you got plans tonight? I'm a couple 100 miles from Japan and I was thinking I could fly to your hotel tonight. Cause I can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind. Can't get you off my mind.